Hey, what is the Case-Shiller Home Price Index and what does it say about your Portland area real estate investment? Let's talk about that. Hey, Steve Schwab here with the Portland Lifestyle Team. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk about residential real estate price appreciation. And I'm going to talk about it more on a macro level, looking at some national numbers, how those numbers are reported, and I'll touch on Portland. And then in future videos, we'll drill down into some local micro markets within the Portland area. So the Standard & Poor's Case-Shiller Home Index report is a report that comes out the third week of every month, and what it does is it looks back at data from 3 months prior. So as of the moment of this shooting this video, the current report is the December 31st, 2019, and it's looking back at October data. The report, what it does is rolls up a number of different indices. There's a national index, there's a 10-city composite and a 20-city composite. Portland, Oregon is part of the 20-city composite, so we participate in the data that goes into this report. So this is where things get a little bit interesting. The index is normalized against a number of 100, which then is compared to or applied to January of 2000. So that becomes our baseline of pricing. On your screen, there's a little chart here that shows currently we are at 218.43% of housing values from January of 2000. The interesting thing here is you can see the 2006 peak, we were 206.52% of that year 2000 baseline, and the trough of that dip, the 20-city composite dropped to about 134.07% of that baseline. So before I get into the Portland specific numbers, I'm going to backtrack for a moment and talk about that significant event that took place that pretty much scared everybody from participating either in buying or selling real estate for a while. And that was, between the years 2006 and 2012, we saw one of the biggest decline in home values that we've ever probably seen. Schiller actually addressed this in a book he wrote, Irrational Exuberance, second edition, that came out, I think, in 2005, where he talked about home prices and how they appeared to, and I quote, take off like a rocket. And the concern was not only that prices were going up so fast, but they were going up at a much quicker pace than incomes, which is a big red flag, obviously. On your screen right here, you can kind of get a picture of how things looked. You can see what I call the economic collapse, that downturn right there. That's where all those mortgages went bad, and people were upside down in their home as a result of that big tumble that you're looking at. Now you can see at the bottom there what caused it to turn around and start hitting back up was, we implemented this short sale process, and we started turning these properties back over. But at that point, things had gone on long enough that there became other issues with our economy, and that second downturn is actually related to job losses. But since then we've nicely recovered. And this is actually one of the things I tell people when I'm counseling them about their concerns of whether they should buy or not. And that is that was one of the biggest, or it was the biggest downturn we'd ever seen, and we've recovered. So stepping back into the report now, the October data is telling us that prices are continuing to increase at a moderate level. In October, I think they were up 2.2% month over month from the previous month, where they were up 2.1%. So there's a little bit of growth there. That's good news. And this report also focuses on the three top markets in the nation that are part of the index. Interesting thing here is the number one market is the Phoenix market, which in October was up 5.8%. That's a big number. just kind of put it in perspective that Portland was seeing a few years back, upwards of 11 to 13%. So before I get into the Portland specific numbers, which I know you're waiting for, I just want to touch on the fact that from an analysis standpoint, this report's telling us that we're seeing a slow deceleration across the board, across the country, with home prices. It's not huge. It actually needs to happen because we saw such an uptick that we're better to see it plateau and level off and stay there for a little while rather than see a sharp decline. And we're seeing that just in small increments on a month-over-month basis with many of the cities. However, San Francisco kind of stands out. They're the only city of the entire 20-city composite that has seen a year-over-year decline as of the month of October. So what's going on in Portland, Oregon? Well, take a look at your screen right there. This is a summary of all of the cities that are part of the composite. And you can see I've got Portland highlighted. First of all, our index is a 240.04. Again, what that means is we're 240% of pricing from the baseline of the year 2000. In October, from September of 2019, we saw a 0.5% decline. And from September to August, the month prior, we were even, we were flat. Year over year, Portland saw a 2.7% price appreciation, which is a level, I guess, a better way to put it, that I have felt we're going to get to somewhere between 1% and 3%, and we'd probably stay there for a few years and let incomes and prices kind of catch up with each other. Again, because we saw some of those huge increases in the Portland market going back a few years. It wasn't that long ago that the average price was sub 200, and now we're around 400,000. So we've about doubled with our average sales price. Hey, so hopefully you found this information interesting. If you're the kind of person that likes to do your own research and are statistically driven, you can just Google some of this by typing in real estate, S&P Corelogic Case-Shiller, some of those terms like that, and you'll run across this information. Again, next time or in the future, I'll drill into some more micro markets within the Portland area. We'll maybe talk about Beaverton and Hillsboro and Northwest Portland, maybe the Pearl, the East Side. We'll just kind of plug and play a few things there, and hopefully we'll give you some more information that you're going to be interested in. Until then, make it a great day.